In this lesson, we're going to be talking about the graphical aspect of a parabola using its standard form of the equation. So the standard form of the equation of a parabola is right here, y equals to ax squared plus bx plus c. And we're going to explore what that means in terms of the graph. So one thing I'm showing here on the left graph is that when the a, which is this coefficient right here next to x squared, is a positive value, like I'm showing here, the parabola is going to be concave up. So that's one thing. So if you have the equation of the parabola in the standard form and you look at the value for a, if a is positive, the parabola, no matter where the vertex is or where the other details are, the parabola is going to be concave up. It's going to open upward. And if a is negative, the parabola is going to be concave down. It's going to be pointing down. That's the number one thing I want you to learn about this. So a, the sign of a will determine whether the parabola is opening upward or downward. The second thing is the standard form enables us to use the quadratic equation. The quadratic equation reveals the roots or the x-intercepts of the parabola. Now, in the quadratic equation, I have another lesson for the derivation of this equation, starting with the standard form. We have this thing under the square root, which we call delta. Delta is this little triangle here. So delta is defined as b squared minus 4ac. If delta is positive, which means that what's under the square root is positive, then you're going to have two solutions or two roots to the quadratic equation. So this would be a situation like you see here in the middle. So this one has two roots because delta is positive, because there is a plus or minus in the equation. If delta is zero, then the plus or minus zero, that basically means that the only root that you have is going to be the vertex, and that's when delta equals zero. When delta is negative, and that can happen as well, there are no real roots. In other words, there are no x-intercepts. So to recap, when we have the standard form of the equation of parabola, if the coefficient a is positive, the parabola is going to be concave up. If a is negative, parabola is going to be concave down. And then another thing about the standard form is that we can use the standard form to find the roots of the equation, to find the x-intercepts of this graph using the quadratic equation. And in the quadratic equation, we have delta, which is defined as what's under the square root here, b squared minus 4ac. If delta is positive, we get two distinct roots, two distinct real roots. So that will be the case here and here in the middle graph. If delta is negative, that means that what's under the square root is negative number. We don't have a real root in that situation. Therefore, there is no x-intercepts. There is zero real roots. And when delta is zero, we get exactly one root. We also call that root the redundant root or the repeated root. All right, guys, I hope you found this lesson beneficial. And please ask me any questions, post any comments on the video, and I'll be happy to answer when I get a chance. Thank you.